All right, Steven. Next player on this list is Justin Davidson. Would you take him in the first round? I know he had a subpar postseason. He's come on with his pitching, his hitting, not so much. First round, is he a first round pick?
Leave him. Leave him second round too.
Joe,
Just because he's
first
Justin.
round? You have the last, Joe. You have the last pick.
I think that if he's available at 6, I'm taking him because he definitely helped our pitching staff last year. You saw how good he pitched, especially Game 3 of the ALCS. That was a great performance.
Everyone is familiar about the 1-2 punch Joe Caputo, Justin Davidson. It was lethal in the postseason last year, and if they are teamed up again, maybe a repeat.
Yeah, I'm just kidding with you, Justin. You're worthy of a first round pick.
Okay, Joe, here's an interesting one. Ken Brophy, high second round or low second round?
Ken Brophy's an interesting player because he's not going to hit much, but he brings maximum effort to every game, as you've seen. So, you know what? I'm going to say high second round pick for Ken Brophy. I'm going to say take him at high second round pick because I think that he could bring a good style to whatever team he goes to.
Okay, Steve, what do you have to say about this? Ken Brophy's got great energy. Hitting skills are very good. What do you have to say?
Yeah, if he's available late in the second round for me, I would definitely go for him.
Okay. And the last one here is Connor Egan, second-year player. If he was available in the second round, Joe, 12th pick,
Connor Egan's definitely an interesting player because he struggles against really good pitching. I mean, we saw him struggle last year against Vin Stanziola and Richie Ricciardi. But I'd say that overall, I think that Connor Egan, given the draft class this year, he's a second-round pick.
Okay. Steve,
I agree. Connor, I'm not sure how reliable he is, but I know he has some serious interest in the league. So I'd be willing to take him.
All right, absolutely. All right, now we're going to move on to player spotlights. I'm going to mention a player. I have a question underneath this player, and you're just gonna, say what you think. All right, first one, Vin Stanziola. Now, again, clutch player of the year last year. What do you think? What do you think he's going to bring to the table this year, Joe?
I think you got to expect the same thing you expected last year. I mean, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't perform as well as last year. Maybe not to every game, but I think that he's going to bring what you need from a first-round pick.
Okay, Steve, what do you have to say about that?
From what I've seen so far, especially in the FT Wiffle, he's definitely one of the better hitters available in the draft. And he's a good pick. He's a good person to have on your team.
Okay. Now, next player, here's an interesting one. Tyler Orgdowzik. Say that 3 times fast. Now, Orgdowzik, he's not very consistent, but he is a very dedicated player. 2008, he struggled. But 2009, he was very clutch, as you guys know. Joe, what do you think we're going to see from him? And where would you take Tyler Orgdowzik in this draft?
Very interesting player because when you look at the draft, I mean, this guy's a 4th-year player. I think a lot of people forget that. So when he brings experience to this game, I think you really got to love the experience. Plus, he's a great fielder. He struggled at the plate, but at the same time, he's gotten some big hits. So I think that you got to consider Orgdowzik to be a middle second-round pick.
Steve?
I've never even met the kid, but he's experienced, and that would be a good compliment to me because I don't have any experience in this league, really. So we'll see. I have to see him play, though, because I don't know what
He's actually coming today. So
there we go. I'm ready.
A good look of Tyler Orgdowzik. All right, guys, moving on. Who do you think is the biggest first-round sleeper, Joe?
You know what? I mean, I don't even think... I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I think that Timmy Murray's actually... He ends up being a sleeper this year because, you know what? I mean, he struggled last year. I think a lot of people are going to look past him, but Timmy Murray, I think a lot of people forget, led a team to the championship 2 years ago. So I'd take Murray first round. I think he's a top 3 pick.
Okay, Steve, any comments on Timmy Murray?
Not really, not really sure. Supposedly he almost made a nice catch one time. That's all I really know about him.
All right. Steve, biggest late round sleeper. You're familiar with the draft class?
Yes.
What do you have to say about the biggest late round sleeper in this year's draft?
I'm thinking Connor Egan, Kevin Wu are both 2 big ones because, well, I know Connor's got a lot of interest in the league. I know Kevin's a very reliable player. He won FT Wiffle's most dedicated player of 2009. Sorry. So they're both good picks.
Okay, Joe, what do you have to say?
I wouldn't. Let's go back to Orgdowzik. I wouldn't look past him. And someone else I want to mention is Kelvin Jan. He's actually the only FT Wiffle player that has pitched at this field. effectively. So I think Kelvin Jen's definitely a reliable pick if you get him late in the second round.
All right, guys. Last but not least, we're going to move down to managerial decisions. Now, I'm going to name a manager, and you're going to say what this manager has to do to be successful, or even what weaknesses would they have coming into this year. All right. First, we're just going to go in order right now. Cal Seaboard. Joe, what do you think are his weaknesses?
Well,
to this year?
once again, it's his pitching. He'll struggle late in games, so I think you're either going to need someone to perform early or perform late, because he obviously can't pitch a whole game anymore.
Steve,
Yeah,
Cal Seaboard.
when we were growing up, Cal was probably the best pitcher in our town, but nowadays, like I know last year looking at his stats, he's all over the place. So it's all about his pitching consistency.
All right, Joe, what do you think Steven Gethard will have trouble doing this year?
I think Steve Gethard's weakness is that he's a first-year player in this league. There's not many managers that are first-year players, but we've seen some that have had success. Tyler Haynes is a perfect example. Now, I'm not comparing Steve Gethard to Tyler Haynes. I think Gethard's got to be able to adjust to the pitching from a shorter distance. If he could do that, I think his team could be a contender this year.
All right, Steve, I'm just going to go right back to you. What do you think Joe Caputo's biggest weakness is for this year?
Well, first let me say what my weaknesses are, because
All right.
I know I got
All
three
right,
big
fair
ones.
enough, fair enough.
I don't have the experience, not 100% on all the rules and how the things go here. Second, I don't have any power at all, and this field is giant. I don't think I'm going to hit any home runs all year. And third, this mound is a lot closer than what I'm used to, and they have a pitch speed limit. And all my pitching talents come with speed, so I don't know, we'll see. But as for Joe
He does have a
Caputo's-
fighting necklace, though. So.
Yeah, more flexibility.
Yeah.
Like Jabba Chamberlain, I can throw a ball through the brick wall. You ever seen that commercial? I don't know. But Joe Caputo, his weaknesses. I don't really know. I mean, he's obviously the most experienced player in the league. He's a pretty above average pitcher. He was hitting some good power hitting in warm-ups today. So
I'd say I'm pretty slow.
All right, Joe,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
fear is, will you put too much thought into a managerial decision, or are you just going to let your players play? That's
I mean, it's wiffle ball. Yeah, I mean, I know we take it seriously here, but let's let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the spectators be positive.
absolutely. All right, next manager here is Vinny Caputo. Joe, don't hold back from any brotherly love here.
Oh, no, I will not at all. Vinny Caputo's weakness is definitely his mind. I think his head is his biggest weakness. He is his own weakness because he definitely gets inside his own head. When he's going bad, and it's tough for him to adjust to that. He completely has taken himself out of some games, so I think that if he can correct that, I think he'll be all right.
Steve, Vinny Caputo. biggest weakness.
I've only seen him play a few times in the Intertown games, and I haven't really seen too many weaknesses. I mean, he's definitely one of the better pitchers, so we'll see.
Okay. Moving down, Tyler Haynes. Now, second-year player. You don't really know of his dedication, but what do you think?
Tyler Haynes is going to be affected the most by the new intentional walk rule. He spent his entire 2009 season walking the best player on the opposing team. We've seen it. He did it to Ricciardi. He did it to Vinny Caputo, obviously the most notable one, and he did it to a few other managers. He's got to be able to pitch to some good players now. He's got great hitting talents. He's unbelievable. But he's got the stuff to pitch to good players. He's just got to learn how to do it now.
All right, absolutely. Steve, Tyler Haynes. What are your comments about Tyler?
I think a problem for Tyler this year is going to be this new wall in right field. It's moved back like 10 feet, and it's just going to knock down a lot of his shots. So we'll see with that too.
All right, and the last one, very tough to point out weaknesses here, is Richie Ricciardi. Joe, you know Richie like the back of your hand. What do you have to say
Yeah, I
about
think
Richie?
Ricciardi has probably been the most consistent player in this league for the 5 years that he's been here, and I think probably his biggest weakness is going to end up being the mound change, the fact that it's been moved back for that exact reason. He's been here 5 years. He's pitched on a 30-foot mound for 4 years. Now he's going to have to make that switch in his 5th year to a little bit longer of a distance. I think he could have problems with that.
All right. Steve, any comments on Richie Ricciardi?
Same thing with that right field wall. I know he goes deep over there a lot, so that's going to knock down some of his home runs as well.
All right, guys. Well, this concludes this press conference. We are very excited about the Caputo Complex 2010 year. Stay tuned on YouTube. Check out the site, and well, we'll see you later. Good luck to all the players. Good luck to Caputo. Stephen.